Okay, great. We're recording now. Hey, Tatiana and Alexis and Isatu, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Okay, great. So let's dive right in. Let's start by having everyone agree that we can share this recording publicly. So if I can see you, please put your thumb up. If I can't see you, please say yes.
Yes,
that's fine.
from ISO2.
And Tatiana, I think I heard you, but
Yes, a yes for me.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tatiana. Okay, great. Great to have you guys here. I think we're going to have a couple other people join us. There are a couple of people that will be missing tonight, but let's dive right in and start getting into everything. So to start with, let's first make sure we've got our minutes handled. So Alexis, are you going to be taking the minutes tonight since Renasia did them the other night, or how did you guys work it out?
Yes, I'll be doing a minute.
Okay, great, cool. Thank you so much, Alexis, for that. That's awesome. And let me actually dive right into our agenda because I'm going to switch things up a little bit. So, of course, make sure that your video is on gallery mode. So the acknowledgments, what I want to say, I was kind of having a moment last week when we were doing the acknowledgments. I think we're going to try, at least for this week, and we'll see how it goes. Instead of doing all the acknowledgments all at the beginning of the meeting, I want to incorporate the acknowledgments into the team reports. So we'll go ahead and just do it in context. And I really want to have the team leaders be able to acknowledge the team members during the team reports, and the different team members to be able to acknowledge each other, be able to acknowledge the work that was done within the team that they're aware of, and then other work that was done outside of their own teams that they're on that they're aware of. So we'll just try to incorporate it all into the team reports. And almost everything tonight is going to be within the team reports because we're going to really get into what's happening with our combined research, production, outreach team and what we've been doing with that, with the video processing and the time tracking is going to be the what's predominantly going to take up our meeting tonight. But before we get to that, we have some very exciting recruitment news. So I'm going to go ahead and let Cassidy take it away before I hand it over. Let me say hi to Maria and Sabah. Great to have you guys here. Since we already did the agreement, can I have you guys, Maria and Sabah, agree to make this video public? Thank you for the thumbs up, Maria.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Sabah. Great. Okay, great. So let's dive right in. Let's have Cassidy start sharing. And let me just start before Cassidy even shares with a big round of applause, even though you guys don't know why yet. Let's start with a big round of applause and let Cassidy share with us. Go ahead, Cassidy, take it away.
Yeah, so this week on the recruitment team, I was just telling Jared, for those of you that weren't on before we started recording, I was telling him that it sort of feels like the crescendo or just the big moment for us because we've been working so hard and so long at this HubSpot migration. And about 35 minutes ago, I sent the first emails to our career services office. So it's like all of that work and back end work came together finally. So that was really exciting. Obviously, I haven't gotten any responses yet because it's been like a half an hour, but it's exciting. We're definitely moving forward and at the perfect time. We're at the end of October. We're past the midway point in the semester. So recruitment is really going to start ramping up here and become a big priority. Not that it hasn't been, but we've sort of gotten all this back end work done so now we can really do it at volume. So yeah, the HubSpot update. Oh yeah. And then for acknowledgments, of course, the whole recruitment team, everyone's been working super hard, especially to Tatiana. She's given so much input this week and been super responsive and really helpful. So I do appreciate that. So thank you all for all of your hard work to make this happen. This is so exciting. So hopefully we'll get, Zoom calls set up soon and start that communication with these career offices. So that's the HubSpot update. For our Handshake job postings, I think we have one up right now. They're all set to expire. So that's sort of our parallel focus, I should say, not really shift, but more of a parallel focus this week is getting those finished so that we can repost them to the schools onto Handshake. We also, I wasn't here last week, so I just want to make sure that ISA2 gets credit as well. She created an awesome QR code and flyers she put around her campus. And we got some pretty good responses through our app, through our WhatsApp chat. So that was awesome. So thank you for all of that. We do have a plan to keep and capture those to become actual members. So we're going to implement that so that hopefully we can at least get a handful of people from that. So that's been awesome and really responsive. So it was really cool to see that active chat going on and people reaching out and jumping in. And then, yeah, just like I said before, we're going to be really pushing for recruitment. So especially at anyone's schools, if people ask you about internships, definitely send them our way. And if anyone just has any good ideas, we're always open to hearing from anyone. So yeah, that's what we're up to in the recruitment team.
Yeah, it's really great. Thank you for sharing all that, Cassidy. Definitely major progress. I want to reiterate what Cassidy was saying, because it is really a big deal that we're sending out these emails finally after all these months. And not only months with you guys in, but it goes back to last semester when it was on our plate for months. So it's really a big moment for us. And it's not, there's all the logistical stuff that we dealt with that Cassidy's mentioned in terms of HubSpot and all that stuff, but it's also like an energetic thing. And I don't know how much, you guys are feeling it, but we're breaking through a bunch of like invisible obstacles that have been there for us. So this is definitely been a big one. I've kind of had some higher level awareness, in the last couple weeks, especially of, just trying to be an outside observer and look at how things have been flowing and just questioning, where have there been blockages and why, and what do we need to do to clear those blockages? So, similarly, Cassidy, and this is, kind of part of it, is that, I spent a few hours in the middle of the night, not last night, but the night before, on the templates to get them, where I was satisfied with where the templates were at. And again, getting the templates nailed down was something that's been on my plate for months, literally. So, and could have been done any single day, what I did, the night before last. And there was still a bunch of other things that were on my plate, but it was just like, this is what I'm going to get done now. And I've been doing that more and more. And I think all of us are, and as a team, we're getting further along in our evolution as a team, and you guys are supporting me and I'm supporting you, and synergistically we're moving through some challenging areas that have been just kind of almost like stuck in mud, and now we're kind of pulling ourselves up out of that mud and starting to cruise along over it. So with recruitment, it's very important, as Cassidy said. I just want to reiterate, I've mentioned to you guys, but it's worth reiterating that we're only 4 weeks away from Thanksgiving. 4 weeks from today is Thanksgiving, and we know that there's going to be a shift in the world, in a holiday mode and all that sort of stuff in 4 weeks from now. And we know from our own experience, we need as much overlap as we can have between you, the fall crew, and the spring crew that's going to be coming in. And like we talked about, we had already some continuity built in with Hannah and with James and even others before that some of you didn't even get to meet, like Edward and other people that were planning to go all the way through the spring. So I don't think anybody right here that I can see that I know of, you guys will tell me, are planning to go all the way through the spring now. So what we need to do is we need to bring in those spring people as quickly as we can, at least some of them, so that they can get up to speed. They can learn all the systems. You guys can tutor them and teach them and mentor them. And we can be running, in the spring rather than, kind of just trying to get up to speed without having any mentorship, right? So that's the kind of the real urgency on top of the urgency that we had before. But the good news around it, besides now having the systems in place to handle volume, which is what's necessary, we have a really, solid foundation of schools that already have at least some relationship with us that we can build on, and we can start to go deeper with them right away. And just to share very quickly, we received an unsolicited email from Ohio State University yesterday, the Career Services Office, who knows that we've been working with a lot of Ohio State University students for months. I don't know if you work with her, ISA2, Amy Satter, I think it is. Do you know who she is in the Career Services Office as ISA2?
What's the name again? Sorry.
Amy Satter, I believe it is.
Oh, Amy Soda. Yeah, she's
Soder?
she works in the career services offices. Basically, she when we have she's my, how can I even explain it? Sorry. The class that I'm taking right now, the capstone class that I'm taking, she's my professor.
Oh,
and
great.
she sends like a bunch of emails if she has any internship or capstone opportunities to students. So she's the one taking care of that for the public health students.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you for that clarification. She's been in touch with us, from way back, because again, we had a number of students over the summer, I think even in the spring, from Ohio State. And she's been very proactive in reaching out. So it's really great to hear from her. And she was asking us for, our materials to offer to students that are interested in capstones for the spring. So she's ready and waiting to receive that material from us and distribute it there at Ohio State. So that's another, that's a great example. You guys heard that I'm going to, I think most of you heard, I'm going to be presenting to Dr. Brown's class on Monday. And he and I had a meeting today, which was great. And we got really clear about all I'm going to be presenting, focusing on the channels, the Experts for Action platform, the nano actions. There's a bunch of different things that he was really excited about. And he created the invitation as well. He was planning to record Monday's presentation and then share the video with his other two classes. But he also, invited me if I'm interested to present live to his other class next Wednesday as well, which I may take him up on depending upon where we end up with Monday. If I feel like we can, refine it better or do more or what have you, we'll kind of reassess. But you guys know the history that we had with the University of Miami and presenting to the Department of Health last semester. And, this will help open up some channels at the University of Miami again. We had the meeting with the career services person, Kiki, is it? I'm forgetting. Renasia, Alexis, help me out. I think it's Kiki, right? Am I remembering? No.
Yes. Okay. Miss,
Kiki.
her
Right.
name is Deidre Okiki.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Say it again so I can get it down.
It's Deidre Okiki.
Deidre Okiki, yes. So we had the meeting with Deidre a couple of weeks ago, as you guys might recall, and she was very enthusiastic to refer more people. We have, Colorado School of Public Health that we've obviously had a lot of work with. And then also, just so you guys know, just a couple of other schools that we have received approval from is our Johns Hopkins University, which we haven't had any students from yet, but there's an open opportunity because they have approved us to post. And I didn't even know, but I just discovered the other day that Stanford has approved us. So that's great. And, again, if we just start to develop a connected relationship with the Stanford, Career Services Office, and we start to work with a student or two that starts to introduce us to a, professor or two. I mean, think about the difference that would make for us as an organization if we're starting to, present the classes at Stanford and stuff like that, right? So again, it doesn't take a lot to really get the ball rolling. That's one of the things that I was really thinking about, and we're going to focus on in the recruitment team in the next couple of weeks. We're definitely going to do all this volume as we've been planning and send out all these emails and develop all these relationships, because as we know, when we've got lots of different opportunities all over the place, then things will just trickle in, but also we're going to really kind of start at the top of these prospects, all of the existing schools that we've had students from, that also include like Drexel and George Washington University and other schools that aren't represented right now that we've had, students from in the past, Rollins, which is Emory's School of Public Health, and other schools. So all of these schools are schools that we can go back to, as well as some of these new schools that have approved us that we haven't had students from. And this is going to be a lot of our recruitment, at least in the next few weeks, to see, how quickly we can develop some flow of some students from these places. So just want to kind of tune all of you into it, because it's kind of a group consciousness and group energy kind of thing. We kind of all are going to be attracting that. We're all vibrating in the, the energy that we need to have these students show up, have these career services offices reaching out to us. So, what do they say? When the student is ready, the master will appear. So, we're getting ourselves ready to have all of these, career services offices show up and send these flows of students to us, which is awesome. So thank you again, Cassidy, Tatiana, Isatu, and Mariana, all the great work that the recruitment team has been doing and is continuing to do. Thank you guys so much for all of that. It's really important and really great work. So yay. Okay, great. Before I forget, I just want to see, I know Renasia joined us since we did the agreement. I don't think there's anybody else. So Renasia, can we get a verbal agreement that we can share this video publicly?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Nobody else is new since we did the agreement, right? Okay, great. So let's continue on. Let me dive back in to our agenda. Okay, so we're going to go into business now, and we're going to have Tatiana and Isatu share. And first of all, I just want to congratulate and thank Isatu for co-leading the business team this week. So let's go ahead and give a hand to Isatu. And yes, absolutely. And it is, as Cassidy was saying before, a direct result of the leadership, that I saw from Isatu and what she did with the QR codes last week, and just took the initiative. No one, asked her to come up with flyers or go paper the campus or go hand out all the flyers. But as you guys saw last week, she did a great job with that. So thank you, Isatu, for doing that, and thank you for stepping up into this leadership role for this week. So let me let Tatiana and Isatu take it away and share where we're at with the business team. Thank you, guys.
Yes, as echoing what Jared said, thank you, Isatu, for taking up the lead and being a co-leader with me. And then moving on to what the business team is doing so far. We've decided to kind of work on a project management system, and the one that we decided that would work best with the organization was ClickUp. So as of right now, we sent it out to the executive team just so that they're able to, we're all able to, get a better grasp of it and see how well we like it. And then hopefully, when we meet again, we'll come back and see how well we like ClickUp and whether we should implement it within the organization as a whole. So this would be a way for us, to manage our tasks better and, do time tracking, which is a big part of the organization, just to make sure everyone's doing the assigned work. But as of now, that's what we've mainly been focusing on and trying to find the proper systems for that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Tatiana. Anything you would like to share, Isatu?
Yes, just like Tatiana said, we have been working on finding which the best platform to use for time management, and we decided that ClickUp was the best after comparing it with Bright. After comparing it with Bright and I think it's called Zoho, something like that. But ClickUp had more advantages for us, so we decided that one was the best. And we're actually on a phase to test it out to see how it's working and if it is actually the best like we thought it is. So yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Tatiana and Isatu, for helping us test it out. And And if you are on the executive team, or even if you're not and you're interested in testing it, let Tatiana and Isatu know. If you're not on the executive team and you want to be a part of that. If you are on the executive team, we want to have our opinion of it by Monday, I think is what we had said. Is that right, Tatiana and Isatu? We're going to discuss it in the executive team meeting on Monday and see where people stand on it. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the part of it, just to let you guys know, we talked about this in the business team and some in the executive team, that there is quite a significant cost to ClickUp. So we really have to justify it. And that's the thing. We're looking at like $9 a month per person for Slack alone, for the professional version of Slack. So it seems like if we're going to go the Slack route, and that's, pretty universal and all of that, that seems like it's going to be an expense that we're going to have to account for. But on top of that $9 a month, there's an additional either $9 or $19 per person per month for the ClickUp. So that can get really, costly, obviously. Even with just 10 of us, that's potentially $200 a month. If there's 50 of us, that's $1,000 a month. So we really need to, it needs to be cost justified, especially for our, anticipation of scaling. So that's what we have to really make sure that, if it's great and it's allowing us to perform and we're, generating revenue and it's helping us generate revenue and all of that, then it can be justified, but we just need to make sure that it is. So everybody on board with that and ready to go ahead and look it over and run it through the paces to see if we're going to go forward with this or not. Okay, great. I see some nods from the executive team. I can see Tatiana and Isatu. I take it you guys as well are in on that. Thumbs up, great. Okay, cool. Thank you, Isatu. Okay, thumbs up from Isatu too. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and continue then. The other thing, and we're going to get into it in more detail, is what we're doing interim in terms of the time tracking, and you guys have seen it, and we're going to talk about it tonight. So obviously that's part of the business team function, but even all of that has the potential to be replaced by ClickUp and all of that. So we are looking for the long-term solution and working on that. Okay, so now we're going to get into the combined research, production, outreach team. You guys know that this is, a lot of where our emphasis has been this week, other than, what the business team and the recruitment team have been working on, as you guys have heard. The rest of us are all working on this other stuff. And so I'm just going to kind of run through everything we're going to go through to give you the overview, and then we'll just dive into all the details. So we're going to review and discuss the video processing. So everybody here that's been working on it is going to share something. I'm going to share Katie's video because Katie couldn't be with us tonight, obviously. And also Johnny, by the way, let us know that he wasn't able to be with us tonight. So Katie created a video, though, going through what she did with the processing. So I'm going to share that video and we're going to take a look at it. And then each one of you, one by one, are going to share the document that you created with the processing. And then together as a team, we're going to talk about, so what did we learn from this process? What are our best practices that we've learned and figured out from this? What are good models? And we're just going to really do as much of the group learning as we can tonight, because we're still, as you guys know, this is a long-term thing, and we're still in the midst of our assignment this week with the different videos that I've given for us to process. So we'll kind of digest everything that we've done up until now and talk about what we can do going forward. Then the other big part, as you know, is the time tracking. And so we're going to get into the time tracking document and really get into it in a lot of detail to have it all filled out the way that we can have it filled out, to have everything be comprehensive. After that, there's just going to be a couple other things we're going to review separately. We're going to review some of the tutorials we've been creating and some of what I'm thinking around tutorials. And then we're going to review our minutes and what we're doing to take minutes and create some more consistency around that. So any questions or comments before I start diving into all of these details? Okay, great. Okay, so let's start with Katie's video, and then once we watch Katie's video, then the rest of you again that have been doing this processing are gonna one by one share along the lines of what Katie is sharing in terms of what you did for your process and what you came up with and how you approached it and all of that. So get ready to share what you have to share. Let's start with Katie's, and then we will go from there.
Okay, here's a little glimpse into my thought process since I'm not going to be here on Thursday. So first, I basically went through and watched the video to remind myself of what was in it, what the content was like. Okay, and then I went through and watched it again, and I did the minutes section. I didn't exactly do it quite like minutes exactly. It was more like taking notes like I would for a lecture. Just the main points I found for each, and little notes afterwards. Essentially just thinking about different themes that I was kind of picking out of what Jared was saying. So yeah, you'll see kind of how these parts translate into what I do later. Okay, so then I went through and I got the transcript ready. So you saw that little, well, hopefully you saw that little tutorial that I did for turning transcript into paragraph. So after I did that, essentially what I went through is I had all originally just one large paragraph, and I went through that and I read through it, and I put periods and commas where I thought they should be just for my readability, because I feel like I read better that way. And then I also took and made smaller paragraphs, because that also helps me with readability. Essentially, you can kind of see I took different themes that I had up here and changed them into smaller paragraphs. And then I actually went through and as you can see, I picked out little parts that I wanted to have for my video clips. If I found something that I thought, oh, this would be a good video clip, or oh, this is kind of a deep sentence or whatever, I went ahead, highlighted it, changed the color, and so you can see I kind of did one for each. That's how I ended up, but you could probably do more if you want to have more video clips, I don't know. So then what I did after that is I actually found the first word or first sentence of my video clip. I went back to the video with the transcript open, and then I did control find, and I found the first word of the sentence, and then click that to find the timestamp. So I went in and I put my timestamps, and I did that for each little chunk that I wanted. And I also color coded it to make it easier for me. So that's how I found my video clips, was going through the transcript, highlighting, changing the color to the parts that I thought would make good video clips, then finding these sections in the transcript by doing that control F find function in the transcript on the YouTube video page. And after I found all those video clips and put in all their timestamps, I went ahead and just gave a little overview of why I thought these were good video clips, or what was in these video clips that I thought warranted them being separated. So yeah, that was my basic thought process. I guess if you have any questions, you can message me after the meeting. I won't be able to answer until Friday, but yeah. So thank you.
Okay, great. So let's first of all give a hand to Katie to putting that together for us. And thank you, Katie, for creating that. Very helpful and very useful, very well explained. Anybody want to share any comments or thoughts about what they just saw with the way that Katie handled that?
I think that it was smart how she kind of went to like the audio or the closed captions, and then she kind of found out where the first sentence was to help start her find like where depict where the exact timestamp should be. So I guess that was a smart thing to do to save time and makes you not have to go through every single part to try to find that one specific sentence.
Very good point. Yeah, very good point, and a very handy tool.
Yeah, I think her color coding as well, and like all just the organization that she put into it made it really helpful and just like a more, yeah, organized process. So I thought that was helpful.
Yeah. Yep. Great. Anybody else want to share?
Yes, I don't know if you guys can hear me well because it's raining, but I also really like how she put the colors within the time minutes that she want to do like the video clips. And I think that's very helpful because you can actually like see from the transcript like what's gonna be like the clips. So I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good technique. Okay, great. So who wants to go next to share your processing and share your process with us?
I can share mine.
Thank you, Mariana.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Right, can you guys see?
Yep.
All right, so how I did like Katie did, like I watched the video on YouTube and then I did the minutes and I put like actually like the minutes, and for each time that I put like a summary of what Jared was saying, what I thought it was like most important from each minute. And then for the transcript, I also got the transcript from the YouTube video, and it was like a whole paragraph. And I just did like a summary of what Jared was saying, so it could be like easy to understand. So it was like basically the same. I just like some sentences, I just like reworded them. And yes, and for the video clips, I chose like the parts that I thought that was like most important, and right beside them I just like wrote a summary of what the video clip is gonna be about. And then I chose like this 4 clips which I think they're gonna be like interesting to post. And yes, that was basically how I did it.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Mariana. Let me just ask you so that I understand, with the transcript, is that pretty much the complete transcript of the video with some editing, or is that
Yeah.
an edited version?
Yeah, it's the whole transcript, and like some parts I just edited a little bit.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Great, great. And so that we're also kind of understanding, like, approximately how long did that take you to do all of that? And do you feel like you learned enough to make it quicker next time? And like, how was the timing part for you?
Yeah, so for this first one, I took 1.5 hours, was a little long, but I think that for the next ones, it's gonna be easier because now we already know the process. So yes, I think it's gonna be faster.
Yeah, for sure. And not just with what you learned, but what we're going to learn from each other now too, I think. So that's great. And that's the idea. So perfect. And part of what we're going to do at the end of this, I think we're going to have time, is we're going to go and we're going to take those video clips that you pulled out, and we're going to compare those clips to Katie's and Maria's and Sabah's and everyone that did some, Alexis, Renasia, so that we can see where there's an overlap. So like if everybody said like this 30 seconds is, then we know that like for sure we want that, right? So we're gonna, it's kind of, again, we've talked about it before, it gives us different data points, right? So we can see where there's correlation amongst independent thinkers, and then, kind of see over time, we get to be more computational about it, right? We're kind of feeling our way through it now, but as we get more advanced and have more programmers on our staff, we can actually, you can enter all your clips and everybody can enter all their clips, and then we can just run it through the algorithm, and then the algorithm will give us, which clips we should use based on, kind of the I don't even know what you call it in statistics. Any of you that are more into the statistics, it's been a long time since I had my statistics course. So whatever that's called, correlation or whatever it is between the different data points, corroboration, I don't know what the technical term is. Anybody want to throw out a technical term that would cover what I'm trying to say? Nobody's going to venture. It's fine, you get the idea. So, okay, great. Anybody want to make any comments about what Mariana just shared?
Great job, Mariana.
Thank you. I was just gonna say something. So like a tip that I had that I think it's gonna be easier. So what I did first, I did the transcript first before the video clips and before the minutes, because I think that when you do the transcript first, it's easier to like do the minutes later. So that's a tip that I think was easy for myself. Maybe it's gonna be easy for you also. So yes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And that's just the type of, learning that we're working on doing with this so that it can be faster and better for everybody. So I think that's great. Did anybody else happen to do that as well? Did anybody else do the transcript first and find that it was easier that way? You did that as well, Alexis?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. And you found that for you, that was an easier way to do it, to have that part done first?
Yes, to do that first, and then to read it and just listen to the video again. That'll help you like pinpoint like anything that's possibly missed, and make sure like the time markers are right also.
Great. So doing the transcript first. So is there anybody of those of you that haven't gone yet that didn't do the transcript first, that you think that the part that you did first was more helpful to you? Or is this maybe a best practice for us that we'll all start using to do the transcript first?
I don't know if it's helpful, but I watched the video twice, then I did the minutes first, then transcript, then stamping and stamping.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
the Mariana method from the second time.
say that last part again, Sabah.
I don't know if that's helpful, but I watched the video first, then I did the meeting minutes, then transcript. Then I followed the pattern, but I did not do the transcript first.
Mm-hmm. But do you have a sense now that you've done it? Do you have a sense that if you were going to do it again, that you would hearing that it was helpful for Mariana and Alexis to do the transcript first? Do you feel like you still think it would be better for you to do the minutes first, or do you think that maybe you'd be open to giving the transcript first a try?
I think if I do the transcript first, it will save a lot of time. Like we don't have to watch the video many times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So the transcript could maybe cut down on some of the time, because it seems like we can maybe read the transcript faster than listening to the video, right? I've noticed that, especially for long videos when I'm talking for like an hour or something, that if I'm reading it as a transcript, that I can kind of breeze through and browse through and go back and forth through the transcript quicker than I can try to go through the video necessarily. So I think that is a very good point and a very good practice. So can we agree as a team that our best practice procedure on this now will be to do the transcript first as a starting point and then do the other parts? Does everybody feel like that's going to be our best way to go? Yeah, any other comments in the other direction? Maria or Nasia, any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I was going to say I did it like as a ba, like on the order that you, Jared, put on the document. And like for me, for the transcript, I actually put what I put on the minutes, but in a more like cleaner way. So for me, the minutes was actually the transcript, but separated with ideas and the minutes next to it. So yeah. And for like the last part.
So let me make sure I'm understanding from what you're saying, Maria. So in a way, so you did the minutes first, but then once you did the transcript, then you went back into the minutes and updated it with information from the transcript?
No. I did it in the same order as you put on the document. So I did the minutes first, and I got that from the video, but I separated that with the ideas that it was like different ideas. Yeah. And then on the transcript, it was like in a cleaner way. So yeah.
Got it. And we'll look at it in a moment to see what you're saying about that. So, okay, great. Any thoughts from you, Renasia, one way or the other?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm kind of, my mind is all over the place. It's got a scattered brain right now. But with the transcript, I kind of just went with the flow. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of just put it in a way that I knew I will understand it and everybody else will understand it. If you all get what I'm saying. But either way, for me, like you said,
Do you feel, did you try to do the transcript first? Well, I know you did for the video that you guys worked on last week. That was kind of the approach that you took, was the transcript approach. But for the 8-minute video that you worked on this week, did you end up doing the transcript first, or the minutes first, or the video clips first?
I did the transcript first.
You did the transcript first. So
that was easier to go through and do the Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it was easy for me to just go through and do the transcript and then do the video clips.
Okay, good. So it seems like it's a pretty big consensus that the transcript is helpful first. And did everybody get to see the tutorial that Katie shared in terms of using Word in order to turn it into paragraphs? Did that work for everybody? Yeah, you guys used that and that worked? Okay, great. So we want to institutionalize that as well. So transcript and then using Word to create paragraph form. And just to tie it back, to the big picture of what we're doing, what we're doing with distinguishing all of these things, distinguishing that transcript should come first, distinguishing that we use Word to help us create a transcript from YouTube. So we've got, each one of these are our different nano actions, right? And that's why I want to make sure, that everyone's kind of, understanding what the nano actions are all about and why we're creating nano actions, and what the kind of revolution is, the breakthrough around nano actions is, okay, we want to process a video. That's the outcome that we want to create, right? Now, to process this video, we're breaking it down into these different tasks. So in this case, we've broken it down into 3 tasks. We've broken it down into a minutes processing, a transcript processing, and a video clips processing, right? So that's the first way that we've broken down this one task into 3 subtasks, right? And then within those subtasks, we have let's take transcripts. So within the transcripts, okay, so what do we do to, work with the transcript? Well, the first thing that we do is we go to YouTube and we access the transcript as I showed you guys, and then we copy and paste all of that. So that's one nano action, right? Somebody could just go into YouTube and copy transcripts out of YouTube and just do that over and over and over again, right? And that can be their one job that they're working on, is just copying transcripts from YouTube and pasting them into some document, right? And then some other person could come along and take what they've copied out of YouTube and paste it into Word and do the, finagling to get it into the paragraph format in Word, right? So that's a separate nano action, right? And then once you've done that and you have it all in the paragraph, then another separate nano action is adding the periods and the commas and turning it into more complete sentences, right? So that's another separate nano action. And then after that, another separate nano action is, breaking it up into paragraphs and ideas, right? And then another separate one is looking for video clips within the transcript, right? So you see where just from this one thing that we're trying to do, I just outlined like 7 or 8 different nano actions that are all distinguishable tasks, right? That one person could just work on that one nano action. And that's where, again, when we define it this way, and then we have like, here's our raw video, anybody can go ahead and do these nano actions, then people can just do it, show up, and the work gets done. And what we're doing is we're setting a standard for the world to be able to do these kinds of actions. So that, again, together, it ends up creating the result that we're looking for, or anybody is looking for, right? Right now, we're doing it for processing my video, but tomorrow it could be for processing the FDA meeting from last week, right? That's 8 hours of video or more, from the not even from last week, but from just 2 days ago when they did the children's vaccines, right? So again, who has time to go through 8 hours of video to watch that whole, day-long process, right? But if we had 20 or 30 or 100 or 200 people across the country that were willing to put in a half hour each to process that 8-hour video, and they all were just doing all the nano actions that we've identified, then we could get the whole video processed by all of these people that are just doing their own little part that together comes together and processes this whole video. And in the end, we can end up, with a 15-minute, compilation highlights of this 8-hour meeting, right? And we could do that without any one of us even doing any work on it. Once we've established what the procedure is for all these nano actions and we put it out into the world, then the world can help us by showing up and doing the work, and then we have the result in the end. Does that make sense to everybody? Does everybody see how that's kind of like a revolution of how we get stuff done in like a crowdsourced kind of way? Great. Okay, I'm glad that we're so again, I just want to bring it back because we're really, it's one thing that we're doing this, it's one thing that we're getting the actual work done, and now we're going to have video clips, from this, and we're going to be able to create, social media posts and do things on our website. But it's much bigger than that. We're creating a whole new way of working, that we're teaching the world a new way that it can work, and we're going to start to create results internally that then others can start to create with us, and we can create this model to start getting more things done across our society. It's pretty easy to see that, a year from now, 2 years from now, however long you want to project in your mind, to imagine that everything I'm talking about has become like standard practice within society. You could easily imagine, across the millions of people in our society, a couple hundred people showing up to process, a video, and it taking like no time, because there's all those people ready to process like, right away, right? So everybody's just jumping in doing their own little nano action. And when you add all those nano actions together, the whole thing is done. Make sense? Okay, great. Okay, cool. So let's continue. And who would like to go next?
Can I go because I'm sorry.
Go,
Is
go.
it possible for me to go because I have to leave like at 7 on the dot actually?
Okay.
Trying to get a Halloween costume together here for my baby.
Okay, yes, Alexis, please go.
Okay, 1 second. I have to pull it up on my computer. I'm gonna turn the volume, not volume, turn the it around. Oh, I got this background up. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Would it be easier for one of us to share it from our computer, Alexis?
I'm not sure if you guys can see it like this way or no.
It's not easy to see, but you know what? We can all switch now from gallery view to speaker view to let you take the floor and it'll be big. So everybody switch to speaker view and then Alexis's screen will be big. Go ahead, Alexis.
Okay. Can you guys see that or is it blurry? It looks blurry on my end.
I can see it okay.
Okay, thank you. So basically, I went ahead and did like the same format that that Katie showed us because I realized this was easier. Because last time when Renasia and I did it, we did the transcript first and then put the minutes in the end. So I just highlighted points also that were pretty seemed like they were vital. So I went through the minutes first and did that part, put like the key points and then like the little small things that you were talking about when you were talking about those things. And then I did a transcript also in the paragraph form. I'm sorry. I did the paragraph form also that Katie advised to do for the transcript. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to maneuver here. But I ended up doing like the same thing that me and Renasia did with our transcript, just adding like polishing certain things. Once I watched the video over again, because initially I just put it like the transcript how it transcripts in the beginning and put all that together and then went through, listened again, and put everything in order how it's supposed to be, because when you transcript it, it comes up sometime as in like it breaks it up really in a weird way. So you would have to watch the video actually to realize what you were saying, because if you just do the transcript, then it'll come up as in like 0.5 seconds you said this, 0.7 seconds you said this, but whole time it can be like you literally just said that in one setting. And then at the end I did like the video clips part from the beginning to the end. Of course I didn't put like the parts where you were talking about how it was like at 4 a.m. in the morning walking around. So I didn't put that part in the video clip minutes part, but I just started off with like key points that you were talking about that I thought would be interesting for us to chop up and put together. And that's it. That's all I did.
That's great. That's awesome. Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that, Alexis. It's really, really great. Are there any other things that you learned or anything that you want to share that you think are good tips for us?
I know. Okay, so the way that Renasia and I did it, we worked separately, and then came together with our with what we had. So that helped us both to see like things that were missing, that one person may not have caught that another person did. So I do think that was extremely helpful, because some things that she found were important that I didn't pick up on. So I think that that's a good tool to use, just comparing with people sometimes. Also doing setting it up in the format that Katie had was actually pretty good. Instead of doing like the transcript first, doing the actual minutes first and then the transcript and then like the key points at the end. I thought that was a good style to do it also. So that was it.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing all of that. It's very helpful. Let's go back into gallery view so we can all see each other again. And does anybody have any comments or thoughts they want to share from what they saw from Alexis?
I think that helping each other is actually really like intelligent, like doing it kind of together.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, thank you for saying that, Maria. And I see the thumbs up from Mariana in agreement. And thank you, Alexis, for pointing that out. I do think that that's where we want to go in the long term. So I wanted to have each of you do it independently this time so that we could have all these different data points and we could kind of see you know, how different people do different things without influencing each other too much. And now that we've all done it separately, now is when we're getting to compare notes and see what everybody did. And we're going to actually, you know, now put together the document where we can see, you know, everyone's minutes, everyone's clips. And again, we'll see, we're already at 7. I can't even believe it. It seems like the whole time has flown by. So we'll see if we can fit it in tonight before 7:30. I definitely don't want to go past 7:30 tonight. So we'll see if we can fit it in at the end. I'd like to look at the clips and see if there's a correlation and see which clips, you know, everyone agreed on. So let's go through the others that are going to share real quick so we can have everybody share. So who would like to go next?
I can go. My microphone.
Okay, great. Thanks, Maria. And thank you, Alexis. We know you're going to drop off soon here. So thank you. Thank you, Alexis.
Yeah, I'll stay for Maria's and then after hers, I'll go.
Okay.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I put the minutes and then I copy this basically from the transcript of YouTube. It's really like quick in that way. And obviously I put it like clean so that everything has sense basically. Okay, so then here I put what I copy all of this, but I put it like in paragraphs and also like transitions between one sentence and the other, more as everything is more like together. And here the video clips, I put the minutes. I actually, as Alexis was saying, I actually had to put the actual second so that it's from that word to the other word. So there are some parts as here that I put until you're saying work with. So like that. So yes.
Okay. Can you explain that last part? I didn't understand what you meant by that, until work with.
Yeah, so as Alexis was saying, like when you go to the transcript, sometimes it goes until like a word that you don't want to put on the video clip. So I put, yeah, until work with. And then from here to here, I realized, oh, okay, let me actually copy what is actually Jared saying. So then it's better like that. But it also works this way. Put in until this time, until this sentence, sorry, and like that. So yeah.
Okay, great, great. I forgot to ask you, Alexis and Maria, for comparison's sake, how long did it take each of you to do this whole thing?
Go Alexis first. For me, it was like 2 hours. I did it really quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do you feel like now that you've got the system down, you can be a lot quicker with it?
Yeah. Yeah, and it has also like helped me with the meeting minutes for the Zoom meetings. So yeah, it's really helpful.
Great. Okay, great. Okay, I want to keep moving because we've got a lot more, and I know we still have Sabah and Renasia. So who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Thank you, Sabah. Bye, Alexis.
Yeah. So first I saw the saw your YouTube video twice. I went ahead and took the minutes first. Then I went ahead and changed the wording, like not the wording, but the pattern few times according to the desired pattern or condition. Then I did the transcript, how Katie showed, like copying in the word and making the changes. For the time stamping, I watched the video once again and wrote the.
So just so I understand for the transcript, so that's basically the whole transcript out of YouTube, and then you added the periods and the commas and everything?
No, I made some changes. Like I made few changes, yeah. Like it's the exact version of what you're saying, but I made some changes, yeah.
Okay, so you cleaned it up to make it more understandable as a written document.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. But it is pretty much the complete transcript, right? You didn't like, cut out a lot. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think your complete transcript was of 2 pages, but I reduced it to 1.5 page or 1/3. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. For the time stamping, I watched the video once again and wrote the parts which felt important to me, and felt like what keywords you were using. I wrote that and I did the time stamping accordingly, like by watching the video.
Okay, great. Great. And how long did this process take for you, Sabah?
1 hour, 50 minutes, like closer to 2 hours, but not exact 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay, so it seems like everybody was around an hour and a half or 2 hours, something like that. Okay, good. Okay, great. Any other comments or things that you learned that you want to share?
Yeah, from next video, I'll start doing the way Mariana showed. I think that's a cool way. Yeah, first doing the transcript, then taking the minutes. Yeah.
Great. Okay, great. Any other comments or from anybody? Okay, great. Okay, and last but not least, Renasia. Thank you, Renasia.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on for just a second. I'm not gonna be able to share it because I'm, just getting home or whatever, trying to, settle in or whatever. Can somebody else share it for me so that I can explain mine?
Sure, I can share it while you're talking. So is it in the personal folder that I talked about setting up?
No, I put it on the time tracker thing or where our results are. I did it like that.
Okay, let me pull that up. Okay, can you see it, Renasia?
Yeah, I can see it, and I'm just explaining it, right? That's all you guys pretty much did, if I'm not mistaken, because I was driving while you guys were doing it. But so basically, like I said, I did the transcript first, and I kind of just put it all together because that was my way of understanding it. If I had split it up, I would have probably messed it up. So basically, I just went through, and some of the wording I changed it just a little bit. Only because the way sometimes YouTube had things like double worded. So I just took some things out. And then I put, like I said before, and I did the video clips afterwards. If you scroll down, yeah, there you go. That's how I pretty much the video clips. Of course, we interpreted it the way we, read the transcript.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. And okay, and so no minutes section for you, just the transcript and the video clips sections?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And is this transcript pretty much the whole transcript with just some changes, or did you cut it down, or what is this compared to the original transcript?
It is cut down a little bit. Like, it's not all the way cut down. Like I said, I just changed a little bit of wording. It's all of it is everything on the transcript. I just changed some wording.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, great. So that gives us a lot of, any questions or first of all, anything that you want to share, Renasia, about what you learned through this process? Any tips or tricks or anything you want to share?
I guess the main thing would just be, I don't know, going with your gut with the transcript. Do what you feel is, best for you and how you want to go about typing up the transcript in the video clips in the minutes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think, so first of all, let's give a round of applause to everybody. Everybody put in really good work this week, and we can see the work that everybody did, and it's really helping us all the different levels I described. So thank you guys for taking this on and really engaging and really doing the work, because we've got a lot to build on. So I think I've learned a lot just by listening to you and watching you all. I think that we're all much clearer now. The first thing which we got clear on is that it's helpful to do the transcript first so that we can, work with that transcript and then go from there. I think what I'm seeing from what you guys found is I think there's a cutting down of the transcript that we want to do in this process, similar to how you pulled out the video clips. So this is the thing, and I understand that, maybe it wasn't, clear from the description last week, but now, I think we can kind of see it. I think the example is what you saw from Katie's, where you saw the complete transcript, but you saw the portions that she was pulling out that she thought were significant, right? And so those portions could become video clips, and some of them should, but some of them maybe just should be, again, snippets of ideas that are going to go into a document that are going to be added with other snippets to make up a script or make up something else, right? The thing about having the whole transcript, as a lot of you guys did, is that, from a written standpoint, what do we do with that? Where does that go now that, okay, we have the transcript, but what can we do with this transcript? And really, we want to process the transcript down, just like you did, just like you pulled out video clips. We should be pulling out transcript clips, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? That we should be finding the important written parts that then are going into some collected document and some organization of that, right? So I think that I saw a bunch of you said that you thought that the process that Katie used with the color coding and the changing it. Let me go ahead and actually go back so we can look at it. That it looked like a good idea to you guys. Do you guys think that maybe here's what it looks like. Do you think that maybe this is like a technique that we should all start using, where we break up the transcript into these paragraphs, and then from the transcript, we color code a certain section that we think should be pulled out of the transcript? And again, some of those may be appropriate for a video clip if it comes across well in the video, but some of them won't be, for a video clip, but just for a word clip, a word segment to come out and be added. What do you guys think about that? One thumbs up from Maria, thumbs up from Mariana, thumbs up from Sabah and Renasia. Okay, so, okay, that's pretty unanimous again, about from those of you that are left here. So, okay, great. So it sounds like we'll start to do that as the standard practice now as well, that you guys can start to do that from what we did. And actually, let me, while we're thinking about it, so I don't forget. And so you guys have it to work off of, because I know you're all working on the next videos now already. Let me share this into our team chat here so that you guys can all watch Katie's clip here at your leisure later. Okay, so that's in our combined chat now, so you guys can watch Katie's clip again later if you want to remind yourself of the nuances of what she shared. So, okay, great. So we've got one, we're going to do the transcript portion first. Secondly, we're going to use Katie's technique to cut up the transcript and find portions that we can pull out, both for video and or words. And maybe we're actually going to create a coding system. What do you guys think about that? So let's look back at it again. So let's go, let me do it again real quick. Let me share. And then I want to wrap this up because I want to get into the other portions. But let's go back to, is it up still? Let's see. No.
The timestamp. So
okay, so we'll go through, you'll break up the transcript into these paragraphs. You'll find some of these clips or these portions that you think can be pulled out. Then, like when you have this one portion, you can say, designate this portion for written, what we call it, our written collections. Designate this portion for our video clip segment, or both. So it can be either or both. What do you guys think about that as a way to kind of, help build both our video clips and build our written library, essentially, and designate right in the moment whether it should be one or the other or both? What do you guys think about that?
I think both, because like the colors are gonna help like us doing the clips later, and also like the written part, the written document, I don't know. So yeah, I think both, it's gonna be helpful.
Well, yeah, and let me clarify, Mariana, because I get what you're saying, but it's a little different than what I'm asking. Is that once you've found, let me use this specific example again. So once you're into the transcript and you've discovered this part, so let's say again, let's use this red part, okay? Anyhow, I feel like I have to get so quiet in my life, shut out the world, blah, blah, blah. So, reading it as written, as words on the page could be like really powerful written words, right? But then when I'm saying it in the clip, I could be going, and having pauses and all that kind of stuff that doesn't really make it good as a video clip. You get what I'm saying? So in that case, this would be good for written, not good for video clip. And you say that right now. Could be good for written and it could be good for a video clip, and you can say that too. Or it could be like better video clip and not necessarily so good, but I'm probably most of the time it's good for, probably most of the time that's good as a video clip. It'll probably be good as a written words as well, but there may be times where it's good as written words, but not good as a video clip. Does that make sense? So I think that's where, again, we can set up some kind of system. So maybe like what we do is like when you go through and you go through the transcript, maybe like once you color code it, then like right after the colored portion, maybe in parentheses, put video. If it's just for video, put written in parentheses if it's just for written, or put both in parentheses if it should be both. How does that sound as a system to you guys?
It sounds good. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, good. good. We should have colors for written and for video. I think that you're right, Maria. I'm just not sure if we have enough colors to do all kinds of different things, like one for each in the mix of both. True, but the way that Katie did it was she had a different color for each paragraph. So I don't know if you could have two different colors. Well, I think it's gonna, now that we've discussed it, we'll see how you guys execute it. And then maybe some people will execute it differently, and we'll compare notes again next Tuesday in Tuesday's meeting. But I think that you guys have the idea of it enough to go forward with it and be efficient and effective with it. Do you guys agree? Okay, good, good. So, okay, good. So everybody has the two other clips that I gave you to be working on. Has everybody already been working on those two clips? You guys have gotten started? You guys are along in it? Let's go into our time tracking now, because this is where I want to make sure that we're on top of how we're using the time tracker and that we're capturing everything. Okay, so let's take a look right now and move this. Okay. Okay, so Alexis and Johnny and Katie are not here. Let's start with Mariana. Mariana, looks like you filled it out already, so that's great. So just to remind everybody, and did everybody get to see the video that I made today talking about the time tracker? Yes, for Sabah? Not necessarily everybody. Okay, it's in our chat. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. Let me pull it up here quickly. So here, this 3-minute and 19-second video that I posted at 2:08 p.m. today. Make sure that you watch that. I'm going to kind of go through it now really quick. So Mariana did the one video, but I think you said it took more than an hour, didn't you, Mariana? Or it only took you an hour for this video, this first video?
No, yeah, it took me 1 hour and a half. I just put 1 hour, so it could be like, I don't know, simple, but I'm gonna change to 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is we need to have this be accurate. So let's actually make it accurate. I'll change it now. So 1.5 is what it actually took you, which is great. And so was all the 1.5 on Wednesday, or was it split up on any other days?
No, on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, okay. So everybody see what I'm doing now is adding the actual hours in, both here under the total task, and then, you know, when it got done. She could have also done like 0.5 hours on Tuesday and 1 hour on Wednesday, but in the end, it was actually 1.5 on Wednesday. And so now, you know, we might need to adjust these hours. Maybe it's going to be more than 1.5, but you know, we'll see as you guys go. You'll decide, you'll tell me what the actual ended up being. But right now, Mariana, have you already put in your 1.5 hours, or you're going to, or you've done some of it and you're going to do the rest after the meeting, or where are you at?
No, I haven't done it. I just put 1.5 for Thursday today, and I put 1.5 for Friday for the other video, because I thought that that was the time that I was going to take, and I just put it like as the anticipated hours. I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to do, but
yeah, that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. So that's perfect. So so Sabah and Renasia, why don't you guys be adding your hours right now as we're doing this? Let me go ahead and give you the link really quick to make it handy. And see, Sabah and Renasia, do you guys have any questions about how we're adding the hours here into this sheet? Is it all clear? Let me start with you, Sabah. I know Renasia's tending to. some other people there. So Sabah, let's go through. So it took you 2 hours and you did that on Thursday for the first, oh, that's, well, this link is actually the first video, the 8-minute video, right, Sabah? And it took,
Yeah,
okay, and it took you 2 hours total. Is that right?
less than 2 hours. Like it was not exact 2 hours, but 1 hour, 50 minutes.
Okay, and you did all of that today on Thursday?
Yeah, today.
Okay. So let me just show you and everybody how we correct it from what you have. Because right now you have it lined up alongside of the second video, right? So the first thing we have to do is actually get it all on the proper line. Okay, so we're moving it up to this one, the first video. Okay. And then, so you've got the 2 hours, 0002, which is great. But then you're done with this task, you completed it. So it's not 2 hours on this task for Friday. Perhaps you're anticipating putting 2 hours in on Friday for the next video. Is that the idea? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Mhm.
Okay, great. So then really what you've got is you've got zeros up until tomorrow for that video, right? And then you've also got zeros after this 2 hours because you've already completed that task, right? So now you've got, and you don't have, well, for this second video, are you planning to put 2 hours for the second video in tomorrow and then another 2 hours for the same video, or is the second 2 hours for the third video?
I think it's for the third video, but I'll not know the exact time by today because I'll let you know after doing second and third.
Yeah, I understand. You don't know exactly yet. But essentially what you're doing is this, right? Is that you're planning to do the second video tomorrow for 2 hours. You're planning to do the third video on Saturday for 2 hours, right?
Yeah, hopefully I'll try to do both by tomorrow.
Okay. So if you are, and you're going to do 2 hours each for the videos?
I think it will not take 2 hours, but less than 2 hours. And I still have to do analysis for the mixed message. So I have to take my time out for that too. So I'm planning to do that this weekend.
I understand. I understand. Okay, but if you're planning to do both videos tomorrow, then we can go ahead and put these in. So maybe like 1.5 for that video and 1.5 for the other video tomorrow. Is that more accurate of what you're anticipating?
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay. And so again, you see how we're setting it up in terms of the expectations and everybody sees that? Yeah. Any questions about that from anybody? Okay. So Renasia, as soon as you're able to, please go ahead and fill in the rest of yours similarly with what you're anticipating. So Renasia, you had 2 actual hours is what it ended up taking you for the first video. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you did 1 hour on Wednesday and then you did another 1 hour today. Is that right?
No, that was supposed to be 1 hour yesterday and then 1 hour today. You could change that.
Okay, great. So then 1 hour today and then you're done with it. So 0 tomorrow, 0 on Saturday for that one. And then do you know when you're anticipating working on the second video today or tomorrow? How much time you're planning to put in?
It will most likely be tomorrow after work and then like Saturday morning.
Okay, so then do you have an estimate of how much time tomorrow into the second video?
It'll probably be about maybe like an hour and a half. It probably won't take as long. I can't hear you if you're your sound when I can't hear you talking.
Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah. I thought it was my computer.
Okay. I can hear you now.
Okay. So what I was saying is that the second video is like 27 minutes or 36 minutes. The second video and the third video, one of them is 27 minutes and one of them is 36 minutes. So it's not gonna, even if you're doing it faster, there's a lot more, there's a lot more to process.
I'll say it's about as long as it took. So I'll say about 2.5 then.
2.5 for tomorrow or 2.5? How are you splitting it up?
You can say 1 for tomorrow and then 2.5 for Saturday. Or just, am I doing that right?
Well, I'm not sure. Let's talk about the one video that let's estimate how much time you think it's going to take, since it took you 2 hours for the first video. That was 8 minutes. Let's say the second video is 27 minutes and you're going to do it faster. Do you think it's going to take you 2 hours for this next video?
Yeah.
Okay. And so are you planning to put both hours in tomorrow, or 1 hour tomorrow and the rest on Saturday?
1 hour tomorrow and 1 hour on Saturday, because I have to travel tomorrow back to Charlotte. I had to be here for work this week, so
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for the third video, are we going to anticipate that you're expecting 2 hours for that video as well?
Yes.
Okay, and so then are you planning to put 2 hours for that video in on Saturday or Sunday, or when were you planning to do that one?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay. So it's going to be 3 hours total on Saturday, 1 for one video and 2 for the other.
Yeah, and if I have time tomorrow at work, those hours may change, and I'll just let you all know.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And you don't even need to let us know. You can just go into the form here and change it. And that's what it's for, is that you change it day by day, however things are adjusting for you.
Okay.
And
okay.
But you use this to be able to show what you're anticipating, so that we can have our whole hours for the whole week, mapped out. That makes sense?
Yes.
So that's where also, Renasia, like right now, and we'll do this, everyone's going to do this. We're running out of time now, so we're going to have to wrap this pretty soon, and then we'll continue more later. But basically, again, so of all of your hours for the week right now in Asia, we've got the 2 hours for the one video, the 2 hours for the other, and the 2 hours for the third. So we have 6 hours here of your 20 hours, if that's what you have this week. I can't remember exactly, but let's say 20 hours or whatever you have this week. So you have 6 hours mapped out right now. So we have to figure out, where to map out the other 14 hours. What tasks are you going to be working on what days, for how long? And that's how we're mapping out all of our time for all of our tasks for everyone across all of the teams. Does that make sense to everybody? Because that's what I had wanted to get into, that whole mapping all of our hours, but we're running out of time. So what I want all of you to do is, after this, I want you to see how many hours you've added up here total. And then I want you to go to your, hours for the week. I don't know if I have it up there. Okay, great. Go to your hours for the week and take whatever your total expected hours is, and then subtract the hours that you've already mapped out on here. And then, so you've got the balance of your hours. So let's say that you've got 5 hours still to go. Then I want you to add another task. So let's say Maria has another 5 hours to go. Then she's going to go ahead and insert another task, and she's going to add what the other task is and how many hours she's anticipating working on it and what days she's going to work on it. So when we add up all of her anticipated hours, the 2, the 1.5, the 1.5, the 3, the 2, it's going to add up to her total for the whole week. So all of her hours for the whole week is now going to be mapped out across all of the tasks that she's working on for the whole week. Does everybody understand that? So this is what we're going to be doing now every week, for all of our tasks, for all of our time. And we'll use this spreadsheet as long as we need to But as you heard, whether it's going to be ClickUp or Slack or whatever, we're looking for an automated system where they've already worked all this out and they're giving us all the tools to do this. So we'll do it, with that system as soon as we can. But in the meantime, this is the system that we're working with. So does that make sense to everybody? And can everybody go in and add whatever additional hours you still have left for the week and find tasks that you're working on? And if you don't know what tasks you should be working on, then you can ask me or you can ask your team leader. But for this week, at least, it's mostly, unless you're on the business team or the recruiting team, it's mostly going to be more video processing. Like we've started with these 3 videos, but we've got a whole lot more videos than that to process, right? Including all of our team meetings, right? We've got all of our team meetings to pull stuff out of and pull video clips out of and all of that. So does that make sense to everybody? Does everybody see how we're going to get all of this done by doing it this way? Okay, great. I apologize, we're running a couple minutes over. Let me just go back quickly into the agenda because I want to just, talk about it, even if we can't get to it all tonight. Hold on one moment. So I can see it. Okay. So the other thing is the tutorials. We won't talk about that tonight. Maybe I'll create a video to share with you guys. And then the minutes also, again, I'll create some kind of video and we'll talk about it because we've talked about enough. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I feel pretty good about everything that we've covered. How do you guys feel? We're really, as you can see, taking it to a whole new level of, documentation, accountability, tracking, just making sure that we're really on top of all of our hours and using them all the best ways that we can, and everybody knowing exactly where we're at and how we're doing everything. Does everybody see that? Does everybody feel good about that? Does everybody feel like this is like good progress for us in terms of what we're working to do to accomplish more as a team and be more organized with what we're doing and how we're doing everything? Yeah. Everybody happy? Feel good? Cool. Anything that anybody would like to share about any of that? Let's get a couple comments before we go. Just a couple quick comments and then we'll go.
Well, I just think that these video processings are going to be very helpful, and I'm excited to do more. And yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you, Mariana. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did not acknowledge anyone this week, but I want to acknowledge research, outreach, and production team, and everyone's hard work with the video processing and time tracking.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I apologize for dominating so much of the conversation that we didn't get to share all of our acknowledgments this week. So let's just go ahead and thank everybody and acknowledge everybody. Everyone's on top of it. We're doing it. We're all taking it to another level. We're being champions. We're putting all of our training into action, which is awesome. So thank you guys so much. You guys are wonderful. You're champions. You're doing a great job. We're all doing a great job as a team. So feel good about that. Keep going. We're doing it. So thank you, team. Have a great night. And I'll talk to you very soon. See you on the chat. Have a good night, everyone. See you. Bye.